Oh, we got some rich people there, look. Lady on a bicycle. And it's a lovely, absolutely wonderful Wednesday morning. And we all love Wednesday mornings because, well, it's the middle of the week, isn't it? Hump day. As we travel along the road on a lovely hump day morning, many people are waking up and humping to start the day. Today is a particularly nice day, as we can see demonstrated by the dry ground, indicating there has been no rain, and the lovely bright lights along the railway line. As we can see, there is at the moment no trains, although there is some wind along the railway lines. What a lovely day it is to be alive. Oh yes, happy Wednesday. We all love a Wednesday. Wonder what today's going to bring for all of you lot. For me, it'll bring wonderfulness for being alive and having some bread for breakfast and porridge for dinner. Yes, oh, a train goes past. Lovely, lovely jubbly. Yes, I'll start the day today with a nice bit of bread, I reckon. Yeah, I didn't have any filling to go with the bread, so I've just got bread sandwich. Yesterday, I'll tell you what I had yesterday. I had a lovely a seafood cocktail. Comes in a tub like that, and you just spoon it out of there and put it in your sandwich, and you got a seafood cocktail sandwich. Oh, and it was delicious, absolutely delicious it was. I enjoyed that thoroughly. But today I've run out of seafood cocktail, so I'm just gonna have some bread. Nothing but bread. But I like bread, and it's not just any old bread. It's a brown seeded loaf today. I'm going to enjoy that thoroughly, you trust me, you lot. So, there's been a lot of crazy things going on in the world recently, and well, for a start, it's only 8 weeks until Christmas. 8 weeks until Christmas Day. Well, I never. I'm so unbelievably excited, I can't even begin to convey to you lot how excited I am about Christmas. Christmas is an incredibly exciting time. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I hope that we're going to get, well, it's a tricky one. I really want a nice white snowy Christmas for the fun and games, but it will make my life incredibly difficult regarding work coming up to Christmas. But who cares about that, because snow is what it's all about. A nice white Christmas, that's what we want. Something very funny I heard on the I don't know how true it is, we have to take it with a pinch of salt, or as usual, because it was on the news, which was on the television, and as we all know, we can't necessarily believe the news which is on the television. But they said, one thing they said was bus drivers are leaving bus driving to become HGV drivers, which is hilarious. And also, oh, excuse me, bit tired. It's 3:20 in the morning. Anyway, what was I going to say? Also, there's getting prisoners out of prison to do lorry driving, right? Because at the moment, for a reason of which I can't even imagine, there's supposed to be a shortage of HGV, or articulated lorry drivers, or maybe not all articulated, but mainly the big lorries that transport all the goods across the countries. There's a shortage of those because, well, there's not really, I don't think. It's just a case of people just shimmying their jobs around what they want to do. You know, times change. And some of those people were in prison for nicking lorries and, you know, what's the word? Importing and exporting drugs and other bits and bobs. Things they shouldn't have been doing, obviously. Nicking the lorry in the first place. But now they're getting them in, ex-convicts, to drive the lorries. That's quite funny. But to be honest, you'll find a lot of lorry drivers already, before this problem, are actually from prison. A lot of them have got problems where they've been in prison before. And I know a lot of people, very nice people, they're lorry drivers. And the reason they are lorry drivers is because they went to prison, because they nicked lorries, committed robberies and all bits and bobs with the lorries, and got nicked, went in prison, and then when they come out of prison they couldn't get a job, but they knew how to drive a lorry, so the government helped them get jobs driving lorries. And now they drive lorries. It's an ironic fate, isn't it, really? There's so much work out there at the moment, it's actually unbelievable. I know people who run their own companies, and they're crying out for decent workers. They can get workers, but they're not any good, so they have to sack them, or they might just carry them on until they can find somebody decent. But they're all crying out for workers, man. There's so much work out there, it's unbelievable, in all different sectors. So for those people who go, there's no work out there, no jobs, so I'm going to sit indoors on my sofa and I'm going to have a carrot every fucking day and 40,000 cigarettes and 4 million beers. There's so much work out there. If you're willing to put your head to it, put your mind to it, you know what I mean, you get out there, you're going to have a lot of money. In fact, speaking of work, I've still got to book my I did that course, didn't I, that GVC course for the drone thing. I've still got to book the bloody theory, take the theory, but the trouble is I've got so much stuff going on, so much work going on, I haven't got any I haven't got any free time to bloody do it. Every time I look at it, try and book it, there's never any things. But I've got to get that done. And then I can, you know, go out and do a bit of flying during the weekends. Might be able to get a bit of work on a Sunday or something like that. You know, rake in a bit of extra dollar, because I'm saving up. Apple have released a new MacBook Pro recently. I'm just, what do I get? I need to get something newer. Because my laptop it's good. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. But it's starting to run out of storage and things like that, you know, and it's doing the classic thing where you wipe it all off, you clean it all off for a clean slate, you reinstall your operating system and all that bollocks and all your programs that you want, and then it comes up and says, oh, hold on a minute, out of 250 gigabytes you have 11 gigabytes left, and you're like, hold on a minute, I've just wiped you off completely and I put you all back together again, and now you've only got 11 gig. What's going on, dude? Yeah, and it's getting a bit slow, so need to get a new one within the next sort of 5 years. And especially since Apple they'll probably stop supporting the one I've currently got, because I bought it in 2015, so it's already 6 years old, and normally they stop supporting them after 10, don't they? So, but they bring out an iPad, a really fandangly iPad, big fat fuck off iPad that's meant to be really quick, but that won't be any good for editing, I don't think, because I don't think I can run Premiere Pro on it, only Rush. So I need a laptop I can run Premiere Pro. And Peter McKinnon done quite a good review on the new MacBook Pro. It's not released just yet, he got it early for review purposes, I think. Or it might have come out already, I'm not sure. But that's probably going to be a good few thousand pennies. So saving up every little dollar I've got a few pennies and a few pounds down here, saving them up. In about 5 years hopefully I'll have enough to get one, but by then they'll bring out another one probably. That's my trouble. I want something, but then by the time I've saved up enough money, there's a new one out, so I just get the new one anyway. Love it. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try to be, you know, a little bit depressed about something, you can't, because life is just so brilliant, and everything is just so perfect. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, what a lovely time I'm having here. I've got 2 lottery tickets for Friday's because it's only Wednesday today, for Friday's lottery draw. If I win, trust me, there'll be some interesting things coming up. I had a dream I actually won the lottery. I won the lottery. I went out, I bought a massive, you know those big trailers what you use to transport animals, sheep and goats and other bits and bobs, you know, not a horse box, but an animal transporter trailer thing, a livestock trailer. I went out, bought one of those. Weirdly enough, I got what I've always wanted, which was an American pickup truck. You know what you lot have in America? Like an old style one though, like an what do they have? Like 350 or a 450, the big square pickup trucks, old style, not new one, an older one. You always see them in films, don't you? Square with just a circle headlights and that, you know. So yeah, went out and bought one of those, and then I went down to like a duck shop, and I filled up the animal trailer with ducks. Yeah, just your ordinary duck, what you see on a pond. Filled it up with ducks, and I drove home. Ducks in a pond. The pond was full up with ducks. You couldn't see the water because there's just ducks everywhere. This is my dream, right? After I won the lottery, just ducks everywhere. I got out a deck chair, sat by the pond and watched the ducks with a loaf of bread and threw it out. Just enjoying life. Yeah, man. In my dream, I didn't spend it on everything. I just went out and bought I bought a trailer. I bought an old American pickup truck, towed a trailer. I've always wanted an old American pickup truck. My dream car, you know, like the ones you see on the films. Proper nice one. Just with the bench seat, you know, old style bench seat, great big thin steering wheel, just a stick for the gears. Yeah, always wanted one of them. Just filled it up with ducks. Just put it on a duck. I had a duck pond in my garden. Filled the pond up with ducks. Sat down, just fed the ducks. Chilling out. You know, that is the dream. You know, that is literally the dream. That is my dream, but it's also my dream. That's what I would do if I won the lottery. Have a nice big pond in the garden. Put some ducks on it, a few fish as well. Sit there, deck chair, fishing, feeding the ducks, having a wonderful time. Oh man, what would you do? Put in the comments, if you won the lottery, what would you do? How would you spend your millions? You know, I've won the lottery once before, but only won £250. 250 quid. It came in very handy, I must admit. I was very, very pleased. I was ecstatic. That came in extremely handy. Yep. At the time, the pair of trainers that I had a hole in, and they had a hole in for a long time. I kept getting a wet foot every time it rained. And won that £250 on the lottery. I went out and bought a new pair of trainers. I was absolutely over the moon. I couldn't believe it. Yep, my right foot has been dry ever since. Yep, love it. Oh man. Yes, I put in the comments, you lot, what would you do if you won the lottery? And you know what? There might even be some of you lot out there that have won the lottery, because it ain't as rare as you might think. Obviously, people do win. So if you have won the lottery, what did you do with that money? Did you have a nice time? Did it ruin your life? It might well do, but you've got to be sensible, you lot. There's a story actually of a person in this country who won the lottery. Don't know how much he won, but he won a lot. He was a chav at the time, very young chav. He won the lottery. He went and bought a massive mansion somewhere with a massive garden. Got banger races, got cars, made them into banger races and quad bikes and motorbikes and all sorts. Ruined the garden, ruined the house, had parties every day, done endless amount of drugs. And drunk so much alcohol, and he just ruined himself, and he ruined his life. And now I think he works in McDonald's. Is it for McDonald's or Tesco's? The last time they reported on him, he was a very, the money ruined him. But you got to be sensible. You can't just go spending willy nilly when you have that sort of amount of money. But some people do, and he did. I would just have a nice duck pond full of ducks. and loads of bread and duck food, because they don't just eat bread. Bread is like a treat for ducks. There was a thing recently where they were saying don't feed ducks bread because they don't like it and it's bad for them. But it's not bad for them, only if it's in certain amounts. You know, duck bread is like, you know, like humans, we like a sugary sweet, you know, as a bit of a treat, bit of chocolate or something like that. That's what bread is for ducks. It's like a treat, you know. If you just eat nothing but bread, they become very unhealthy and they're not good for them. But a bit of bread every now and again, you throw them a bit of bread, that's like a treat for them. It's a bit of chocolate, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to catch you lot later on. I might continue this recording, this video later on when it's light and I'm on my way home from work. If not, I'll catch you on another day. All the best. Oh, bloody, check this moron out. People just parking all over the place these days. Look, I'm sitting here in a parking space next to the shop and he just pulled up right there in front, look. And he's left his car running and he's gone in the shop. What? What's that all about? Parking right there. And then go, what? You like park right in front of the door to the shop. What dickhead, huh? People always, well, another thing what I don't like, people park at the petrol pump, don't get any petrol or diesel, go in the shop. So they're blocking up a pump. You know what I mean? Park somewhere else. There's plenty of places to park along that wall there, along that fence. There's another parking space over there. There's parking here, all the way along here, all parking here. But now they're parking at a petrol pump. Ah, what an idiot, man. That person there's trying to go to the cash point, but he couldn't get there very well because that idiot parked there in his car. Bloody hell, like. BF05 NLG, you are a cock. Oh dear, I don't know what it's all about, you lot. People have no, you know, manners, care these days, you know. I'll tell you a story in a minute about what happened last night, and I'll tell you a story. Hold on a minute, I'll tell you a story. And then you got that old man there at the cash point there, spitting all over the floor. What's that all about? He's sitting there at the cash point, and he's just spitting. There's an old man, he is, and he's just spitting all over the floor. I don't know what that's all about. That's actually like proper. I don't know if that's the one that went in that car or not. We'll find out in a minute. That might be the one that went in that car. We'll find out in a minute. And then we'll find out who's got manners. I think it is. Ready? Here we go, look, he's going round. Is it him? No, maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. You see how much of an idiot he is? Look, he left his indicator going and everything. And his window wipers. Come on, people of the world. It was him. It was him. He's just got back in his car, look. It was him. So the old man spitting all over the floor is the one that has no, you know, just BF05, what was it? NLO, I think. Yeah, NLO. What an idiot, man. What an idiot. Unbelievable. People like that, I just don't understand, you know what I mean? I'm sure you lot can relate. But so I'm sitting here like in a car park, you know, in an actual parking space. And then a lady just decided to park there. What? What's that all about? Taking up all them spaces, like. Mad, isn't it? Absolutely mad. Crazy as a baby. Don't know what that's all about, you lot. Just drove up, dumped it there and walked off into the shop. Proper crazy times going on, dudes. People just a bit, I think they're just mind boggled. There she is, look. Over there. Went out and got a Red Bull, she did. So I said I was going to tell you a story, didn't I? So I'll give you the basics of it, right? Had to go to the doctors yesterday night, right? And it's about 7:30 at night, you know, just to give some sort of time frame. And the doctor's car park's relatively small. So you got like a, how can I explain it? I've got nothing to draw on, but I'll do this, look. So, here's the doctor. Here's the doctor's here, right? And down here you got the car park area, and you got a little road that goes along into the rest of the doctors there, okay? This is for staff, for the doctors and all that rubbish, right? But it's a little road, and it's got to be kept clear, okay? Because it goes out the car park. It comes in and goes out the car park, okay? And then you've got parking here. You can fit some cars in there. And the doctors is actually here, okay? Right. So, we come in like that. Actually, we come down the road. There's a car in front of us indicating to come in. And that comes in, right? And that goes in, that goes down that road. So I'm behind it, I come in, and there's a space here, right on the end, the very last parking space. So I go in like that, ba-ding, I'm in. There's all cars here, I'm on the last one, alright, and then the rest of it, the road goes along, okay? Some person's parked here on the path, in front of the doctors and half on the road, fair enough, whatever. And then that car turns around up here, they realise they can't park, and then come down, and then just do about a 1,000,000 turn in the middle of the road there and park here. They're parking long ways, yeah, completely blocking that road here, alright? And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Look at the woman in there, and you know, she's got a massive great big afro on and all that kind of stuff. Don't know where they're from, Africa or somewhere probably, I don't know. Yeah, and just sort of get out and stroll along to the doctors, you know, as if, and me and the missus looking at this car, which is just now parked in the road, you know. I mean, if she'd have thought about it, she could have gone on the other side of the curb. No, what's happened here? She could have come along here and could have parked next to the doctors long ways like that. So the road's coming along here, cars are parked here. She could, there would have been space for her to go there. It wouldn't have been ideal, but she could have parked there a bit on the curb there, and the cars would still be able to get past. These cars could still get out. That would have been alright, but no, she just decided the road is here going up, okay? She decided to park like that. Couldn't understand it, I really couldn't. A few cars tried to come in and wanted to go up here, and they said, what's that car doing there? I'm sitting in the car, the missus gone in the doctor's, I'm sitting in the car on my own waiting, because there's only one in at a time, you see. So she went in to get her neck sorted out, and I'm in the car waiting, and the car come up there and said, well, I want to get through there, why is there a car here? I said, I don't know, they've just randomly dumped their car there, you know. And he said, I'm a doctor, I need to park in my parking space. His parking space was up here. I said, I don't know, the person that owns this car is in there, I said. The big woman with the big afro, big black woman with an afro. And he said, alright. Anyway, he went back, he said, I'm going to go have a look, try and find her. So he went in there, and then she came out, and I thought she was going to move her car. But she didn't. She didn't. She come out, opened the door, got something out, went back in the doctors again. And there's other doctors come back, he says, where's she gone? I said, well, she got something out the car and went back in again. He said, oh, I asked her to move her car so I could get in. I was like, this is ridiculous. What's it all about, you lot? I can't understand why people, it's not just her, that was just something that happened last night, and I was sitting there and I'm boggled, do you know what I mean? Completely boggled, like, just there's no common sense in people's brains anymore. I mean, how she thought that was a good idea to park like that, blocking that road, when it was clear that it was she'd already been down it. She'd been down it. She knew what was at the bottom. She knew that it was staff car park, doctor's bays all marked out and everything. And there was even cars down there, so at some point that's the only road out, so they would have wanted to come out. What if they wanted to get out and go home when she was parked there in the doctor, her car was blocking the road, she was in the doctor's, the car wanted to go out, the doctor's been in there probably all day long, at the end of his shift he wanted to go home, gets in his car, drives down the road and the bloody car's blocking the road, he can't go home. I'd be annoyed, man. Yeah, what's that all about? People just don't have any. It happens the same in ordinary shopping car parks, you know, people just driving around. Oh, that was another one. That was another one. Oh, mate, I'll tell you this one, right? Actually, it's the same lady. It was this lady that parked here with her big afro, parked there on that road. Well, she and the rest of her family must have decided to have a day out at the doctor's as well. So her car's parked there blocking the road, and then some friends of hers, whoever, I'll show you, look, give me a little diagram back. So I'm parked here, her car's parked there blocking that road. There's, I think, about 4 cars here and then me, right? So about here somewhere there's a BMW. The man comes out of the doctor's, gets in his car, and just starts to pull out, when all of a sudden a Nissan, what was it, I think it was a no, it wasn't a Leaf, it was a Note, a Nissan Note I think, or something like that, anyway, went straight in. He's halfway out. Bloody, I was watching the people driving the car, also had massive afros. Well, one didn't, the driver didn't, but the others did. The kids in and everything, just driving, didn't even look. They were looking ahead. They didn't even look at this bloke half out of the parking thing, and just drove straight round about that far away from his front, but didn't even look at him and go, oh sorry, or whatever. Didn't even look at him, just drove in, Bob. And then they were trying to get round here, but her car was parked there, and they were looking at me like shrugging their shoulders, and I was just like, I don't know. I didn't know that it was people that knew this woman. And yeah, and then I thought, I'll tell you what, make things easier, I'll come out of my parking space and I'll go in this one that's just appeared, and then they can fuck around here somewhere. But no, they sat in the road, and then that woman come out, had a chat with them. They all got out and had a communal meeting, opened the boot and had a communal meeting like they do, probably discussing afros or something, I don't know, in the middle of the road. And then when they wanted, she went back in, and then they got in the car, and obviously they were front ways in, and it's quite a small space, and they're looking at me, and I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, I did say, I'm thinking, what are you looking at me for? Like, what can I do to help you here? Your friend has parked blocked off the road, so you can't turn around. Now you got to reverse all the way back down in this, it's just like a narrow road. You got to reverse all the way down now. It's your friend's fault. Anyway, so they'd done that and eventually went. But yeah, man, I couldn't believe when I see that car pulling out of his parking space, because I'm eyeing it up. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to move over. I don't like being on the corner right by this car which is parked in the middle of the road. I don't want to be associated with someone who's parked in the road. And I thought, well, I'm going to move over into that parking space, and then, you know, they can mess around in this one, whatever. And so I'm waiting for this car to go out so I can zip in, and he was half out like that, slowly, and I couldn't believe that car went, no manners, no nothing. Unbelievable, you lot. Absolutely, just, but it happens in the car parks all over the place. You know, you go down the shopping centre of a weekend, you get people just in a world of their own, driving around, oblivious to people walking, oblivious to cars reversing out. You know, some people go in, they park, they just park in a parking space, you know, half over the line, and you know, those sort of people. I'll tell you what, if I ever become a millionaire, I'm going to buy some cars, yeah, older cars, but decent enough where, you know, people would think twice before damaging it. Do you know what I mean? If it's an old banger that's all rusty, someone just, I don't know, they'd damage it when they smash their door on it, whatever. You know, and the people who park over 2 bays in a parking space, I'll get a couple of cars, get my brother-in-laws or someone, and we'd have a car each, and we'd just park next to them, so the bastards can't get in their doors, because I think that's wrong. And I know some of you, you've commented before, I do that to stop people denting my doors. Well, do you know what I mean? It's part of life, you know. It just boggles the mind. Boggles the mind, you lot. People just don't care these days. It won't be long before you won't be able to go out in public, because people just won't be caring about nothing. Do you know what I mean? It'll be, it's ridiculous. I can't believe these people block the fucking doctor's car park and everything. Anyway, you lot, I was enjoying myself there, telling you lot that story. I like telling stories. I'll catch you lot all later on. It's the next day, by the way, now. Yeah, next day. Started this on a Wednesday, I finished it on a Thursday. See you later, you lot. All the best. Going to the circus tonight. Woo-hoo-hoo!